racist past comes back to get her. It's sending shockwaves through America. There was always something about Michelle Obama that screamed shameless. It seemed like in her entire 8 years as First Lady of the United States, not once did she truly feel like she belonged. That has some to do with the fact her husband was a fraud, but more on that in a second. There is one thing that is sure: Michelle Obama loves to play the race card. It has now been reported that Michelle wrote her senior thesis at Princeton University on Blackness. The real title of the thesis was in fact, Princeton-Educated Blacks and the Black Community. It was then reported shortly after by Christopher Hitchens, that Michelle's thesis was not even written in any spoken or known language. Dinesh D'Souza got on Facebook to put in his 2 cents on the matter. He said Michelle Obama's racial obsession is traceable to her semi-illiterate thesis on being black at Princeton, which Christopher Hitchens once noted wasn't written in any known language. What a devastating indictment Michelle's thesis is of her, and of Princeton. Things are starting to be learned about the kind of woman Michelle Obama truly is. This was reported in the midst of Barack Obama's on scandals. He is being accused of many different illegal doings during his time as President of the United States. This family needs to stay off the radar for as long as humanly possible. They have just come back from a nearly month-long vacation on a remote island. Once they are back, it is sure that they will be right back in the spotlight, as the liberals and the liberal media absolutely adore him. When will we get to the bottom of all these Obama family allegations? It cannot come soon enough. What do you guys think about Michelle Obama's thesis? Look where First Lady Melania Trump spent her day. Everyone is stunned. It's the Easter weekend and the First family decided to spend this wonderful holiday in their Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. Earlier today, we reported the President Donald Trump, First Lady Melania, and their son Barron Trump made it to Florida to take a holiday. But however, we just learned where the First Lady Melania spent her day. First Lady Melania made an unannounced visit earlier today to 7 girls at a group home for victims of abuse and domestic violence in Lake Worth, reports Palm Beach Post. The chief executive officer of the group home, named Home Safe, Matthew Laudica, stated about the visit, "This is a day that the girls will never forget." While the liberals are demolishing the Trump Tower in order to request the First Lady and her son to move in D.C., so we can save money, she proves once again that she is a woman of grace and compassion. President Trump decided to visit his golf club this morning, while Melania arrived at Home Safe at about 10:15 and spent hours of walking with the girls. These girls were all removed from their families by court orders and placed in Home Safe. It was extra special and touching. She asked them what their interests are, Laudica said. Laudica stated that our wonderful First Lady brought these girls gifts and brought Easter baskets and stuffed bunnies for all the children at the agency. The agency counts total of 40 boys and 7 girls at its residences. Even though she is under attack by the liberals, she chose not to concern herself with their nasty demands and irrelevant things. Melania did something incredible and gave her entire day to kids facing some serious problems in their life. Please spread this article with every Trump supporter. Source: https://www.thestarchronicle.com/ Trump just did something unprecedented for Americans. Foreign workers are screwed. For decades, under the watch of establishment Washington politicians like former President Barack Hussein Obama, regular Americans lost more and more jobs as factories in America were closed and jobs were shipped overseas where they could exploit cheap foreign labor. The next step in the dismantling of the prosperous American way of life came when companies here, helped by their corrupt friends in Washington, decided that they would import cheaper foreign labor to take over the American jobs that they could not export. Finally, President Donald Trump put an end to this greedy, America-destroying system with a powerful move that is making foreign workers panic. Through Trump's Buy American, Hire American executive order, Trump directed our government to completely overhaul the controversial H-1B visa program. It was initially meant to allow companies to hire workers for jobs that no American could do, but it clearly became a loophole for companies to fire qualified Americans and hire foreigners for less. Commented employment lawyer John Miano, who cheered Trump's unprecedented move. He's the first president to actually do anything on the H-1B other than screw Americans, so in a sense, it's a really big deal even though we don't know what's in it yet. Stated pro-America advocacy nonprofit Bright Future Jobs founder Donna Conroy, directing the agencies to look at how companies are blocking qualified Americans is the best way to hire Americans first. She added, I am quite pleased that federal agencies are vigorously enforcing employment law that protect American workers and stop H-1B abuse. A senior government official, who did not wish to be named, explained about the program that Trump is working on gutting. The result of that is that workers are often brought in well below market rates to replace American workers, again, sort of violating the principle of the program, which is supposed to be a means for bringing in skilled labor, and instead you're bringing in a lot of times workers who are actually less skilled and lower paid than the workers that they're replacing. Are you happy that Trump is taking action to bring our jobs back? Source: https://www.thestarchronicle.com/ Caitlyn Jenner warns Trump, you mess with LGBT community, I'm coming after you. The former Olympic gold medalist turned reality TV star, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, challenged the president in a 2020 interview with Diane Sawyer set to air Friday night. Yes, I did vote for Trump, but here's the deal breaker with the Republican Party, Jenner told Sawyer, according to a preview clip of the interview released Friday. And the deal breaker is, you mess with my community, you do the wrong thing with our community, you don't give us equality and a fair shot, I'm coming after you. Jenner told Sawyer that what the LGBT community needs from Republican legislators is federal guidance, including on transgender service in the military. Just like the previous administration said that it was okay to serve as a trans person in the military, Jenner said. We have frontline people, okay? I'm talking Marines, trans guys, on the front line, fighting for our country. I'm trying to get, especially the Republican Party, to make a change. Friday night's interview with Sawyer comes nearly 2 years to the day after Jenner first came out as a transgender woman in a 2015 interview with Sawyer. During that interview, Jenner said he had always leaned more conservative in his politics, identified as a Republican, and said he believed in the Constitution. Jenner spoke out in support of Trump during the 2016 presidential campaign, telling Stat magazine in June that the Republican candidate was better on LGBT issues than his Democratic opponent, Hillary Clinton. Everybody looks at the Democrats as being better with these issues. But Trump seems to be very much for women, Jenner said at the time. Jenner also attended Trump's inauguration. But in February, the Keeping Up with the Kardashians and I Am Kate star criticized Trump for lifting federal guidelines concerning transgender bathroom use, calling the decision a disaster. You made a promise to protect the LGBTQ community. Call me, Jenner said in a video posted to Twitter. Jenner is set to release a book of memoirs, Secrets of My Life, next month. In an excerpt from the book published earlier this month, the reality star claimed to have undergone successful gender reassignment surgery in January, nearly a year and a half after first coming out as transgender. Jenner's interview with Sawyer airs Friday night at 10 on ABC. Source: Breitbart. Breaking: Trump drops everything to go to hospital with Melania, here's who else is there. President Donald Trump has a lot on his plate and frequently turns his weekends into work days, as he tirelessly forges ahead to get America back on track. However, today, he dropped everything to go to the hospital with Melania, and now we know who else is there for an incredibly tragic reason. The sudden visit comes as a big surprise, but what happened there was nothing short of incredible. The Trumps are no strangers to hospitals recently, as Melania was just at one a few short weeks ago for the entire day visiting children undergoing cancer treatment. Her compassion was evident for these kids, brightening her day in her soft, underspoken way, despite the burdens she was in the midst of dealing with at the time from the hateful media who relentlessly attack her and can only find fault in her every move. Saturday's trip to one particular hospital was for an entirely different reason, and what was caught on camera is something that everyone in America needs to see. The president has proved his pride in our military in honoring these heroes every chance he gets, along with giving them the power back to do their job and defeat our enemies. The fight doesn't come without great sacrifice, which too often means the cost of life or limb. When soldiers are greatly wounded in war, they are treated at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. Today, the President and First Lady had the honor of visiting these important patients and presenting one with a Purple Heart. During the visit, President Trump awarded Sergeant First Class Alvaro Barrientos a Purple Heart, the Gateway pundit reported. Sergeant First Class Alvaro Barrientos was injured in Afghanistan recently. Then, something incredible happened that we haven't seen in years. Trump didn't have to spend his day in the hospital nor be the one to award Sergeant Barrientos with the Purple Heart. However, there was nothing more important than showing his respect and his appreciation for this amputee. "When I heard about this, I wanted to do this myself," President Trump said. "Congratulations. Tremendous." The couple posed for several pictures with the war hero. There's no better person to present this medal to a soldier than to a commander-in-chief who genuinely cares. Had Barack Obama still been in office and made the time to arrive at Walter Reed, it would have been an insult for the man who stripped the military down to nothing. Trump has built it back up even after Obama urged soldiers to question Trump's authority, saying to criticize our president, Breitbart reported. As news of Trump's visit broke, some criticized him of making his plans known in a tweet about his plans, before leaving the White House and heading to the hospital. While he announced it with great honor, saying he was looking forward to seeing our bravest and greatest Americans, the liberal media said, most visits go unannounced. However, they missed the point. Too often, especially under Barack Obama, Americans lose sight of the sacrifice made on the battlefield for our freedom. The rights we enjoy here today are defended by brave men and women willing to put their life on the line, which liberals take gross advantage of. While these heroes are facing an enemy in a foreign land that's far outside of an entitled leftist's safe space, these idiots are back in the land of the free, crying for handouts, stomping on our flag, and complaining about what's fairness. Trump's visit today should serve as a reminder of what patriotism, heroism, and being a true American really looks like. The military deserves any and all attention they can get, and Trump announcing that he's presenting this important award should be something commended, not criticized. Happy day. Bill O'Reilly just got the most amazing news in his career. Are you proud of him? Bill O'Reilly's forced exit from Fox News is netting him a payout of up to $25 million, two sources with knowledge confirmed to NBC News. The former Fox News anchor inked a new 4-year contract last month guaranteeing he make that much annually, according to a person with knowledge of that deal. The contract did allow Fox to fire him in general if controversy was harming the network, the person added. His severance has not been disclosed publicly, but was part of the agreement for him parting ways with parent company 21st Century Fox, New York Magazine journalist Gabe Sherman earlier told Today. The media company announced Wednesday it was dropping O'Reilly's primetime political punditry show, The O'Reilly Factor, amid mounting sexual harassment allegations made by former staffers and guests. The New York Times revealed earlier this month that O'Reilly and his bosses paid about $13 million to 5 women in exchange for them not pursuing lawsuits or speaking about their cases. In a statement following his ouster, O'Reilly said he was proud of his last 20-plus years at the cable network and again denied the accusations. "It is tremendously disheartening that we part ways due to completely unfounded claims. But that is the unfortunate reality many of us in the public eye must live with today," said O'Reilly, 67, adding, "I wish only the best for Fox News Channel." His payout would appear to be smaller than that given to former Fox News honcho Roger Ailes, who resigned last summer after facing his own spate of sexual harassment complaints made by female staffers. Ailes, who became the channel's founding CEO in 1996, the same year O'Reilly joined, reportedly received $40 million as part of his separation agreement. Ailes has also denied wrongdoing. While O'Reilly was a star of the network, bringing in about 3.9 million viewers a night in recent months, Sherman said the accusations became too much, and even 21st Century Fox chairman Rupert Murdoch could no longer justify keeping him on. "Really, this was a storm that the Murdoch family wanted to weather, but ultimately, they realized they couldn't," Sherman said. Early Thursday, a giant poster of O'Reilly displayed prominently outside of 21st Century Fox's New York City offices was boarded. Breaking: President Trump announces Comey's replacement. President Trump has been as patient a boss as he could possibly be expected to be. Over the past 2 months, while the FBI and intelligence community should have been busy investigating Hillary Clinton's crimes and Barack Obama's shadow government, they decided to instead investigate a fake news story about a connection between our president and the Russians. It's preposterous. President Trump has proven time and time again that there is no connection. He has posted and tweeted about it hundreds of times. If it weren't for the New York Times and CNN, there would be no scandal. Trump said so himself. Now he's finally decided to take action. He gave Director Comey all of the chances he could. The time has come to replace him. Trump, knowing what's best and what the American people want, wasted no time and found Comey's replacement before he asked for his resignation. As of April 1, the FBI will no longer answer to a director but to the head of the House Investigative Committee, Trey Gowdy. Mr. Gowdy will take over the day-to-day operations when his term is up in January 2019. The reason for the unorthodox chain of command is that a person can't, by law, hold 2 jobs in the federal government, and Mr. Gowdy is still needed to head the House committee he runs that does so much good work. Gowdy has assured the president that he will do everything in his power to end the Russia witch hunt except where the Clintons and Podesta are concerned and to get back to what is really important, which is shutting down Obama's deep state and getting to the bottom of Benghazi. Source: http://worldpoliticsnow.com/ Breaking: Congress just outlawed Obama. Once signed into law, any and all interference with the federal government as voted for by the people would constitute not only a crime but would be considered an act of sedition and war. The Republicans and our president aren't going to sit idly by while a man who no longer holds office interferes in the governing of our country. Jeff Derpinger, director of the HOIP, told Fox News that the bill would go into effect immediately and that Obama's movements are already being monitored. "The deep state is finished in America," he said. "Let him go back to Kenya if he wants to pretend to be in charge." Once signed, Obama will be under surveillance as long as he's on American soil. Should he decide to leave the country and continue trying to have an influence over our laws, he could be charged with espionage and have his